Is COVID-19 coronavirus a biblical plague? Is end-time Bible prophecy in the book of Revelation being fulfilled today as COVID-19 spreads and threatens to kill millions? Hi everyone, welcome to Adam's Ministry. This is your host Adam II with a very important prophecy update on this new threat to humanity. Every month I'll be giving one lucky subscriber a free copy of my book Jericho, as well as the full movie Revelation Decoded, which includes everything you need to know about the end times. So please don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss that opportunity, and will continue to receive essential prophecy updates during this very relevant time. Do not panic. Coronavirus is not a biblical plague worthy of John's book of Revelation, and despite what you may have heard by other interpreters of Revelation, none of the 7 trumpets have been blown yet. Although it may seem that way with various global catastrophes which have taken place over the years, namely Fukushima, the Gulf of Mexico oil spill, various wars and the recession, etc., these don't even come close to what's about to happen. Trust me, when the first trumpet sounds, the whole world will hear it. But that's not coming up next in the book of Revelation. We are still living in the period between World War II and the final 6th seal to be broken. I don't normally digress from my work like this, but I felt it necessary to do this video on the coronavirus because I'm seeing a lot of worried people panic buying food, toilet paper, and in the US, guns, which is terrible. These people are overreacting, and this pandemic won't be as devastating as the World Wars or Great Depression, which are mentioned in Revelation. They were the 4 supernatural horsemen of the apocalypse, once you interpret Revelation chapter 6 correctly, which I've been through in previous videos, and my book, which is available in the description below. What comes up next in Revelation isn't a great plague, but a great megathrust earthquake, and a meteor shower following this period of persecution of Christians we're living in at the moment. We are living in the time following the Second World War that was Revelation 6, 8 and 9, where the 5th seal was broken. When the 6th seal is broken and we receive this meteor shower and great megathrust earthquake, or Enoquake, as I have named it in my book, it will be so catastrophic that John says every mountain and island will be moved out of their places. We're looking at continental drift there. And then he says, "And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and every bondman, and every freeman, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains." So I beseech you not to go crazy over this coronavirus, because it's not in here. However, throughout history, plagues, wars and famine have gone hand in hand, so there may be more wars and possibly food shortages, although there really isn't any need to go panic buying. I won't be, because I have read this, and as some of you know, I can go for prolonged periods of time without food. What is interesting about this plague, however, is where Revelation 6:16 says, "And said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb." Is that possibly what we're beginning to see now, the wrath of the Lamb starting to affect world leaders? Perhaps it's a little teaser and reminder that they're not as all-powerful as they like to believe. These verses strip them of all their power, and they are cowering in the mountains. What a great and glorious day that will be, and perhaps we might even live to see it. Have faith, people, because the gluttonous globalists responsible for innumerable atrocities on man are going to get it next. A great and just day is coming for those that are slain for the word of God and the testimony which they hold. Rejoice knowing that the kings of the earth are about to receive their comeuppance, and they are not immune to this new plague, but will cost them a fortune and kill many of their own. Why not use this time off to go through my Revelation Decoded playlist so you can better understand what is coming and know when not to panic? Knowing this is essential right now because it really couldn't be a better time to be born again. Vengeance is coming on the ruling elite. The wrath of the Lamb is about to put them in their place, cowering in a mountain, trying to hide from God and his judgment on them all. Do you want to be included with them, or receive the seal of approval from the living God? Fear not, for this is just the beginning, and justice is coming very soon. If you haven't already, please check out my next video on the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which is irrefutable proof of the revelation of Jesus Christ. Those tragic existential risks made up 5 of the seals which were broken in Revelation chapter 6. And although we are still suffering from the breaking of the 5th seal to this day in the Middle East and China, this coronavirus has nothing to do with it, or the upcoming 6th seal, which will make this thing look like child's play. We're not there yet, so take it easy with the toilet rolls. It really isn't that scary.